What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video here on Andrew Upshaw Fishing. Man, I'm just going to tell you straight up, today's video is pretty darn good. 3 fishing tips that are definitely going to help you catch more and bigger bass all across the country. These fishing hacks happen to work with a vibrating jig. I don't know if you've tried them. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't, but I can tell you one thing, guys. I've traveled all across the country, and these 3 hacks, yeah, they're real winners. I'm just telling you straight up. You want to try these fishing hacks next time you're on the water. If you haven't yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Just drop down that bottom right-hand corner. It's super fast and easy, and it doesn't cost you a dime, just a little bit of time. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I put a new video out on YouTube. I greatly would appreciate it. Hey, let's just go ahead and dive right into this video, guys. I hope you all have a great day, and thank you for watching.
Get my hopes up now.
I know.
Anything with that.
Is it good?
We are rocking and rolling, ready for action.
There we go. Big one. Oh, heck yeah. All right, come on, baby. Ooh, thunder cricket. Check that out, guys. All right, guys, today's video is gonna highlight a bait that we've all talked about, we've all seen. If you're a bass fisherman, you know what a vibrating jig is. In this case, I'm talking about a Strike King thunder cricket. You know, there's a lot of other great options out there. You know, there's a Chatterbait, there's jackhammer. I mean, there's literally so many options when it comes to vibrating jigs. Today's video is not so much to highlight what the thunder cricket does, but a few things that you can do to the thunder cricket to increase your bites. So we've all been to those lakes and all those places where, let's just say a given situation where you have everybody in the field is throwing a vibrating jig. You know the vibrating jig bite is on, and you know fish are eating it. Well, what do you do when you're faced with that situation? Today's video is going to really highlight a few things that you can do in those situations to get maybe a few extra bites or a lot of extra bites. So the very first hack I'm going to talk about is extremely simple, but it's extremely effective on lakes that have big gizzard shad. So I just came back from Lake Pickwick. I was shooting a show for Let's Fish TV there, and I kind of pulled out one of those tricks on the show to catch a few extra bass, and I caught some really nice ones doing it too. So basically, I was throwing a 1/2 ounce thunder cricket. I was throwing a white with a white blade, white and chartreuse. It's just kind of my go-to when I'm going to gizzard shad lakes. And I was throwing a white Caffeine Shad. Now granted, this is pink, and the reason I'm putting pink on here so you can truly see the definition of the bait on the hook. So if you look here, when I'm putting this thing on, I don't want to put it on traditional like that. I'm actually going to put it on upside down. So when you go through the head, you go through the head, and you go all the way down the body to the length of the shank of the hook. So you're going about 2 inches. And you come out the belly, and you push it up there, just like that. So you want the belly up here, okay? So as you can tell, the open part is up. So you're going to ask me, I didn't cut any off of this. I didn't do anything different. This is the bait the way I'm going to fish it, just like this. So imagine if I have a white one, okay, with a full white bait. I mean, it's a big profile. It's bulky. It does a lot of stuff here. When this thing swims through the water, it's really long, and it has a lot of action. Not like over-exaggerated action, like if you put, let's say, a rage swimmer on there. It's not going to have that kind of action. It's going to be real subtle swimming through the water, but it's going to be bulky and big. If you've been to gizzard shad lakes, these particular gizzard shad are anywhere between 4 and 7 inches long. So this technically isn't that big a bait when it comes down to the size of these gizzard shad that you're trying to match the hatch on. A few of these bass that I caught at Pickwick, I mean, they engulfed this thing. You had to get pliers to get them out. I mean, that's how deep they ate the thunder cricket with the oversized Caffeine Shad. And I actually have done it to where, if you've seen a Zoom Magnum fluke, I've actually put a Zoom Magnum fluke on here. That's like a 7-inch bait. So the bait actually comes this far down. The one thing you have to compensate though, the bigger the plastic you put on the vibrating jig, no matter if it's a jackhammer, a thunder cricket, whatever it may be, you have to increase the weight size. Because the deal is, the more plastic you have, the more it's going to float the bait up. And if you're trying to keep that bait down in the strike zone, you've got to keep a bigger weight on there to keep it down. In this case, I was throwing a 1/2 ounce. It's plenty. That 1/2 ounce is plenty for fishing that 5-inch Caffeine Shad. If I was going to throw like a Zoom Magnum fluke on there, I would actually increase my weight to a 3/4 or a 5/8 in some cases. It just kind of depends on the situation. If I'm trying to keep it somewhat up, I'll throw a 5/8. If I'm trying to keep it on the bottom, I'm definitely going to throw the 3/4. And we just released that new size in the Thunder Cricket at 3/4 ounce. But as I said, I want to re-clarify, this pink is not what I'm throwing. I'm throwing a white one. For the sake of the video, I want you to be able to see the true profile of the bait, and I think this best explains the profile the way I have it. So that's the first hack. Add the Caffeine Shad. Full size, don't cut anything off. Make sure you rig it upside down, because if you rig it like this, if you rig it straight, it actually has a tendency to lift the bait even more. So rigging it upside down, it doesn't have that tendency to lift the bait as much. So you keep it down closer to the bottom. In the case of Pickwick, where I was just at, I needed that bait as close to the bottom as I could. The second hack, this is a pretty simple hack, but it's definitely one of my favorites. So as you can tell, here's just a standard, this is just a bluegill color thunder cricket. I mean, it's nothing crazy. But you know, there's so many times on the water where you don't have the right skirt color, or you're in your mind, you're like, man, these fish are eating red, or they're eating more chartreuse, or you know, whatever it may be. And a lot of times we kind of get stuck throwing a bait that we're not really, don't have really any confidence in, and we need to change that up. So one thing that I do is I keep a big skirt box in my boat. I mean a big one. I mean, I have custom skirts from all kinds of companies. Boss makes a couple good ones. You know, Six Sense makes some good ones. There's a bunch of different skirt companies. And I also keep these in here. These are just quick change skirts by Strike King. I mean, they're just really easy, simple. They're the perfect skirt. So I use a perfect skirt in a couple of different situations. So if you buy a skirt from, let's just say, Tackle Warehouse, you know, if you look down this list, you're going to see a bunch of different options. Well, if the one thing you're going to notice is all the skirts are perfectly in line with the hook. They're all that short type of skirt. Well, in the case of the perfect skirt, it's actually a long skirt. This is the one that they actually designed for a spinnerbait. So it's to give you that trailer action. So the one thing I really like about this, the perfect skirt, is it gives me the ability to keep it long here, so it gives it even more bulk, even more action. So if I'm on the water, let's just say I'm at Gunnersville, and you know, they're eating a fire crawl chatterbait. Let's just go ahead and say, like, that's the one of the number one selling baits out there. I get my red perfect skirt just like this. I put it on there, just like so. And all of a sudden, I have a fire crawl thunder cricket. I know that sounds so silly, guys, and I know that, like, it's so simple, but we overlook it so terribly much. The need for changing skirts. One of my favorite skirts, and the cool thing about the perfect skirt, you don't have to worry about skirt collars or ripping it apart or anything like that. I mean, it's a pretty simple process. But one of my favorite colors, and it's become a big time staple of mine, is solid chartreuse. When I'm faced with especially flooded conditions like what we've seen all across the South right now, I mean, look at that, guys. Like, that is, I mean, I don't know if you can see it because I do have a green screen behind me, but it is just big, bulky chartreuse. Places like Grand Lake, where the water gets insanely dirty. That solid chartreuse bait works extremely well. I'll actually pair that with a white bait, a white trailer. So a lot of times, especially with that perfect skirt, I'll probably put the 5-inch Menace white one, rig it vertical because it's going to give that white profile through the bait, but so much chartreuse that's going to be extremely loud. I can't stress enough, guys, if you fish vibrating jigs, if you fish swim jigs, if you fish spinner baits at any length of time, you need to have a very big skirt box in your boat. It will save you time. It will save you a ton of money. Because let's face it, guys, chatterbaits, whether it be a jackhammer at like $17, a thunder cricket at $14, I mean, even some of the original chatterbaits are still like $7, $8, $9. You don't want to keep just burning money buying all these baits just to get a different skirt color. Let's simplify this process a little bit, guys. You can just get skirts. I mean, I think this right here costs like $3, and it comes with two skirts. So it's a 2-skirt pack. A lot of the ones that you buy from like Tackle Warehouse, they'll have 2, 3 skirts. Cost $3, and so if you do break one of your vibrating jigs off, a swim jig off, you can actually just get another skirt out of the pack and put it on there. So it's not like you have to go buy 3 jackhammers or 3 thunder crickets. You could buy 2, and then you can be able to switch skirt colors out on the fly. So it actually will eliminate a lot of that extra bulk and a lot of that extra stuff that you carry in your boat. And that's one of the things that I really, really like about carrying spare skirts. Now, this one is, I shouldn't talk about this, guys. I'm just being honest. Like, I'm going to get some hate mail for this one. I shouldn't talk about it. But I'm going to. I'm going to tell you all about it. So, as you see here, this is just a thunder cricket. It's a 3/8 ounce. It's actually, the 3/8 is probably the size that I like to throw the most. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to take the skirt off. You're wasting the skirt here, but so this is what you see. This is the bare thunder cricket. It's got that big jungle hook on it. It's got a spare barb. You got the barb collars for the skirt. You got the little oscillating line tie here, so it moves whenever you hook a fish, so it allows that good penetration. But this is the trick. Here's a 4.75 inch rage swimmer. This is a Rayburn trick. This is a trick for anywhere there's really big shad and really big bass. You take this big rage swimmer, and this is a big one. The hook's gonna look tiny compared to it. You put that big rage swimmer on there, just like so. It looks silly. It looks really silly. But this bait right here will catch absolute massive, massive bass. When I go to the 4.75 inch rage swimmer on here, and this is the size that I like to fish, like I said, when I'm around big bass, I'm actually going to go to a 5/8 ounce vibrating jig. So I'm going to go to the 5/8 ounce thunder cricket. That is going to be my size choice for throwing the bigger rage swimmer. I'm going to fish this in situations where there's big bass. I'm trying to keep it down lower towards the bottom. So there we go. There's that one. The other one I'm going to put on there is a 3.75 inch. This one I'm going to put a 3/8 ounce on. So in the case of fishing around a ton of boats and everybody's fishing vibrating jig, if you want to catch more fish than everybody around you, you get that 3.75 inch rage swimmer, you put it on a 3/8 ounce thunder cricket, and you're going to go to work on them. You're going to catch more bass than everybody around you. You're going to catch bigger bass than everybody around you, and you're going to have the same effects. You're going to be able to hook them all up. It's going to be fantastic. Now, the last little trick I'm going to teach you, and I actually dropped my swim bait. So the 3.25 inch rage swimmer, I'm going to still put on this 3/8 ounce. So it's only about a 1/2 inch smaller than the 3.75 inch, but you're going to notice one thing immediately. The hook actually is really big in this bait. I mean, it's really big. So as you can see, I mean, it's a big hook and everything. This bait right here, with this 3.25 inch rage swimmer on the 3/8 ounce thunder cricket head, catches magnums. When you get in that 1 to 2 foot of water, and I'm telling you a very specific depth range, 1 to 2 foot, you want to throw this bait. You don't want to fish the big ones in that depth column, that 1 to 2 foot range. When I'm fishing the 3.75 with the 3/8 ounce head, I'm fishing 3 to 5 foot. When I'm fishing 1 to 3 foot, I'm fishing 3.25. I think the smaller profile in that water column, the fish can see it easier, so they have a tendency not to eat the really, really big baits a lot of times, especially if it's not extremely realistic looking. So it's actually a water column game for me whenever it comes to that thunder cricket. If it's super duper shallow with the swim bait, I throw small. Mid-level, I throw a little bit bigger, and deeper, I throw big. I want bulky and big because I'm going after really big ones. So guys, that's a wrap for today's video. That's your 3 bait hacks that are definitely going to help you catch more and bigger bass on your vibrating jigs this year. I really hope you like this video. And if you do like it, then like the video. Come on and go and hit that like button. And if you don't like it, I guess you can be that guy and hit the dislike. But I want to see if I can get 500 likes on this video. And I've got a ton of videos with 500 likes. But I want to see, if somebody's watched to this level, I want to see 500 likes. I want to see at least 100 comments. Because, like, why not? I mean, because what is your favorite vibrating jig trailer? Is it a swim bait? Is it a Zako? I mean, what is it? I'm just curious because I fish a lot of vibrating jigs and I love to learn. So, and I hope you do too. And I hope you learned something today. Thank you for watching. I'll have another video coming this Sunday. It's going to probably be the fantasy fishing video for next week's Bassmaster Elite Series on Sabine River. So make sure you check that out. Once again, guys, thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.